everybody, and welcome to my Destiny Crucible tips for new players and newbie players. This is going to be my first time when I'm recording over my video with just my voice, so let's just dive right into this shit. Tip number 1. Assists. Oh my god. You would not believe how many matches I would win if people would just try to shoot the people that I'm playing against. Seriously, assists make such a big difference while you're playing. I mean, it may not seem like much, it's only 50 points, but that 50 points can normally be the difference between a win and a loss. I mean, think about it, you get 2 assists, bam, that's technically counts as 1 kill. Now, again, 1 kill may seem insignificant, but even if you're an average player and don't do very well, every assist you get is going to count towards your team. Tip number 2. Comfort guns. This is the gun that you're going to get comfortable with. This can be a really high level gun, or something popular like Thorn, or it can be something really low level and shitty, even possibly the starter gun you get at the beginning of the campaign. Now, I just recently switched over from Xbox to PlayStation, and the first gun I started looking for was the Archron Scout Rifle because that was the gun I was most comfortable with on the Xbox. And I ended up getting it at a really low level, and even when I got it, I realized that my kill-death ratio was raising, my win-loss ratio was raising, everything was basically going great because I was comfortable with that gun. Now, I will also say this, don't get used to just using one gun. Never be afraid to try something else different, because when I first started playing Destiny, I was only an auto rifle whore. I wouldn't use anything except auto rifles. But then one day I realized that I was just sucking in one match, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try a new match, or new gun, sorry, fuck. And I decided to try out pulse rifles. Pulse rifles became my big thing for a few months. I ended up getting Oversoul's Edict from Crota's End. But then I realized that I still wasn't a big fan of them. I like the rate of fire and everything it has, but I don't know, it just didn't feel right with me. And now I'm currently playing with scout rifles, and I can't get enough of them. I absolutely adore them, but that's only because I'm a big headshot guy. I like going for headshots, precision kills, all of that junk, because I want to make sure my target dies before they have the chance to kill me. So that was tip number 2, comfort guns. Find one you're comfortable with and use it, but don't get too comfortable with it. Tip number 3. Classes. So this is going to be the class of your character that you're probably going to use most of the time. This could be a Titan, a Hunter, or a Warlock. Me, I'm a big Titan and Warlock fan. I never could get into Hunters, it's just the way I am. I still have one, but I don't ever really use her. So, the big reason you want to have a comfortable class is because this is going to end up leading into tip number 6, but we'll get to that. You want to get comfortable with a class. You want to make sure you know the best strategies that he or she can use, like grenades, their punching, their other crappy abilities that no one cares about. But you want to make sure you know what you're doing with them. And that's why this gets tip number 3. Tip number 4. Comfort subclasses. So, I brought up in the last tip that you need to get comfortable with a class. Well, you also gotta get comfortable with a subclass. The subclass normally has different perks, different abilities, and who knows, maybe the subclass you're using just isn't working and you want to try out something different. In PvP, I normally play as a striker because, dat Titan smash. But in PvE, I like to use the Bubble Titan because, defense and shit. You need to find a subclass that works for you. Tip number 5. Grenades. You would not believe how much grenades actually saved my fucking life. So, grenades are probably gonna be one of the more important things that you use in the game, and they normally go unnoticed. So a lot of the time you'll be hiding around a corner, waiting for an enemy to come up, and suddenly, bam, a grenade will get tossed in. And normally, they're just doing that to scare you. You want to make sure you throw your grenade at the right time so that it'll actually do damage to the person, but keep you a little bit protected. Plus, if you end up getting killed by him, 9 times out of 10, if you threw it right, that grenade will kill him and get you a postmortem. And again, that goes all the way back to tip 1 with fucking scores and shit. So, grenades, make sure you use them. Don't be an asshole and just throw them in corners and shit. I'm not saying be a titan and get armamentarium and just fucking spam the living fuck out of them. I'm saying be smart with them. Don't just throw them in a room because you see a little enemy on the map. Which evidently we'll end up coming back to in tip 7. Oh, sorry, spoiler alert! Tip number 6. Super usage. Now, this is probably out of everything, the biggest thing that will end up getting you killed. So, let's say you're a titan and you see a group of enemies, and you evidently have your super. You want to wait to use it until you know for sure you can get more than just one measly kill. Because let me tell you, that one kill, it'll get you points, but 9 times out of 10 there's also someone watching you, waiting for you to use your super, and then you'll get butt fucked because you weren't prepared. Now, there's a group of enemies and you know you can get them, go for it. And if you can get anything from 2 kills up, great. But I consider anything 1 kill and lower, for me, that's considered a terrible use of a super that you could have used to help either save your life, save your teammate's life, and help raise your score. Be smart with your supers, don't be a dick and only use it on one person unless you really, 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 really have to. I mean, like, really. You better be, like, fucking losing by fucking, I don't know, 4,000 points before you use a super on one person. Tip number 7. Almost there, guys. Almost there. The minimap. It's one of the most important things in the game. You can almost always be able to predict where the person's coming, and that'll help you get the drop on them. If it's like a really bright, solid red, then that means they're in your area, they're not above you or below you or any of that crap, and that normally gives you a good judge of where they are and where they're coming. If it's kind of a lighter or darker red, and it's not solid, then that means they're normally on top or above you. Now, depending on which map you're on, you can probably figure it out. But you need to be able to use that to your advantage. You could be walking around a corner and fucking, oh, I'm not paying attention to the map, so I'm gonna get blasted by this asshole with the party crasher. Tip number 8. Team. Stick by your team. Unless you're playing a match of free-for-all, you should be relatively close to your team. Hell, this goes all the way back up to tip 1 with assists. If you stick by your team, you're gonna get points. And even though I hate double teaming as much as the next person, it sucks and it's an awful problem, but it's also really good strategizing. If you're sticking with your teammates and one person decides to be an idiot and run towards you guys, you can all just spam the living fuck out of the guy. In fact, most of the time, if everyone's shooting at him, you could all have your eyes closed and just... Tip number 9. Aw yeah. Cover. Now, cover in Destiny is kind of a gray area. In most maps, there's not a whole bunch of places where you can hide. So, you gotta find your own cover and use it as best as you can. Now, I'm not saying that every time you find like a little rock you can hide behind, you're gonna block most of the shots. You're probably not, but whatever little cover you can use can also be used as a sort of distraction. If someone's shooting at you, you run behind cover, you can kind of fake them out and they might not know where you're gonna pop out, which will make your protection, your cover, even better. Tip number 10. Oh, we finally made it, and you're probably getting fucking sick of hearing my voice, so I promise this is the last tip I can give. Assholes. Assholes everywhere. No, seriously, you're gonna run into assholes who think they're all that because they have Thorn and Last Word and all of the PvP specific weapons that all wreck shit. But if you can outgun them, you'll wreck them and probably throw off the rest of their game. So, you're gonna deal with assholes. The best thing you can try to do is stick by your team, try to outgun them, or be a fucking pussy and run. There is nothing wrong with running, other than the fact that it makes you a pussy. So, yeah. Never be afraid to run in Destiny. It's actually one of my favorite strategies. I'm getting shot at, boom, I'm probably already halfway across the map because I'm such a coward. Seriously, though, don't be afraid to run if you're getting shot at. I'm pretty sure your teammates would rather have you not get a kill than get killed. So, yeah, run. And deal with the assholes. If you can, try to get a whole bunch of your other teammates to get around and corner that guy and just spam the fuck out of him with whatever you got. Just to be a dick and be like, oh, you're not allowed to be a fucking asshole in Destiny. Because, although, you know, there's definitely no assholes in Destiny. Definitely not the people who have Galahorn and rub it in your face. So, there you guys have it. Those were all the tips I can really give you. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that these will help you, but I found that these were helped me when I finally started getting into PvP. Now, here comes the part of the video where I decide to be a total fucking bitch and start telling you guys about all of my streaming shit. So, I'm on Twitch now, I'll leave a link in the description. Me and FireShaddow, I've been posting a lot of videos with him lately, and by a lot I mean 3. We normally stream together. We're pretty funny from what we've heard, so if you want to check it out, we normally stream every day after about 9ish. Let's see, yeah, about 9ish, that's when we normally end up streaming. And we stream things from like Mortal Kombat to Grand Theft Auto to fucking obviously Destiny. Now, I'd also recommend you go check out his channel. He's a bro. Fucking check him out. And I'm also, now that I finally got my PlayStation 4 to work and shit, I'm on PlayStation, I'm on Steam, I'm on Xbox. I have PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and obviously Steam. If you want, I'm going to leave all my gamer tags and PSN networks and all that crap in the description as well. If you want to fucking play with me one day, hit me up. I'm lonely. I like to play with new people. Oh, that came out so wrong. So wrong. So I'm going to end the video there. Peace out, guys, and I'll see you next time with a new video. And hopefully it'll suck less ass than this one.